Here we are for round 5, the midway point for the Martin Sports Car Club iRacing League. And this week we are at the famous track Laguna Seca in California. I'd like to take a second to introduce my lovely co-host Lexi.
What's up, surfer dudes?
Yep, you got it. In California, that's what you do. You hang loose and surf all day long, right? And if you're not surfing, you ought to be racing on this track. So we're going to get right to the action real quick as soon as we get to how everyone started out this week. So we have Jesse Olsen in the lead again as the leader for qualifying. So that's nothing new there. He is pretty quick, followed by a real fast Leland Giddens, only 0.1 back. Andrew is in third, Zane Plumley in fourth. Usually does well in qualifying, but can't put the race together. Banana Man in fifth, Chris Wells in sixth. I think in the back, JG is at the back of the grid at the bottom, didn't put in a time, but he will end up right after Chris Wells. So moving on to the GT3 class, Justin Hall still out front there, posting a really fast time that there's not actually showing a difference between their only class, but Daniel Curio coming up real quick and getting a second place. Eric in third, John Tremblay in fourth. That was a great qualifying for him. Skylar Gregg, great to have him back. He's been missing for a little bit as far as the shut up and drive it guys. He's just was so good to have him back, to have him be a part of the group again. We have Bjorn after him. There we go. And followed by Dean, who jumped in at the last minute, coming over from another race, followed by Tom Jessen, and then Nicholas Vincent, Matt Jackson, Bradley, who probably did not take a time either, in a GT3 car this week, and Justin Hall following at the back of the pack. So Bradley decided to go with the GT3s instead of the Delares this week. So, all right, how about we get this thing moving on, Lexi? Does that sound good?
Yep. I thought that was sand. The track.
There is a lot of sand. All right, so we have just a little bit of time here before we get to the actual race start. So go ahead and talk about the weather. What's it look like today?
Well, it's 78 degrees, 55% humidity, partly cloudy, and 4 miles per hour.
Side wind, perfect. And we're using the full configuration, which is really the only configuration we have for this track at Laguna Seca. It's a kind of a mid-track, only 2.2 miles, and but there's a lot of curves, hardly any straightaways here. Everything is curvy, bumpy, and the elevation is absolutely crazy. And we'll also get to the corkscrew, which is one of the most famous and iconic corners pretty much in almost all of racing. I mean, it doesn't happen anywhere else except for here. All right, let's move on down and see where we are at. All right, so we are with Leland Giddens, and we're gonna have a short roll. There's like one of the cars are in the back just showing up there. It's gonna be a short pace lap. So we got some ZP Motorsports on one side and some privateers on the other side.
And they're off. Red.
Yep, they are following the Porsche pace car. All right, well, Blinky Wells is back. So the pace car is off, and they're going to come into a tight left-hander onto the start-finish. Group up just a little bit to let everybody get through the corner and wait for the green flag. And looks like there goes Jesse, and the race is on. So green flag, and Andrew looking at the inside, real tight of Leland Giddens there for quite a second, and decides to back out a little bit. We all know that tires end up so cold on these Delara cars for the first couple laps, but Andrew was all over the back of Leland. So let's see if we can check in on the start for the GT3. So Justin Hall in front with his monochromatic disco looking paint scheme, and Daniel, that's Justin Hall. Oh, did you know what his dog's name is? I'll give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count.
Luna.
Yep, you got it. Just like one of your stuffed animals that you have. So his dog's name,
Yeah.
yep, is Luna.
I thought Luna was my fish.
It might have been.
Yeah.
You
Or
mean-
learn lunar.
Yeah, you named a lot of things. Luna, lunar.
Or lunar.
Yep. So here we are coming into the corkscrew slow in. There's a great shot of it, how it just drops out, and they say it's like 5 stories as it goes through there, as it winds around. Like I said, not a lot of straightaways in this class. Let's check in with Jesse, and we dropped Zane already. He must have spun somewhere because Jesse is out front, and Leland's keeping him honest, which is good. Leland was one of the quicker drivers earlier. These two were swapping top time during the practice session. All right, so it looks like Jesse is actually running a livery from Jimmy Johnson in the 24 Hours of Daytona. That happened this past week. Oh, dropped a wheel. So that was so lucky that that thing didn't spin out there.
How about I go down the leaderboard to see who we got?
Okay, how about that for the leaderboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesse, Leland, Andrew, JG, Banana Man, Zane Plumley, Justin Hall, Eric Lindsay, Daniel, Skylar, Dean, Bjorn, Justin, Tom, Bradley, Nicholas, New Guy, John, and Chris Wells is out.
He is out. I guess maybe he's having connection issues. He might try to come back in, put some time into the race. So I know
he's drinking so much beer.
I know. I talked to him last week. We talked about he needs a new picture showing half a beer, and he says he doesn't ever let it get down that low before he fills it back up because he just drinks it all day. So happy for that. So we have Eric, another great paint team from the Shut Up and Drive It guys, running in second in class. Oh, Andrew, something happened to Andrew. He's rolling into the pits. Oh man.
Oh.
Yep, something bad happened to him, so he's got to take a repair. So there you go. That is the instant, the instant magic bewitched repair. So, Banana Man and Zane are going at it right now. Here we go. Let's get some good action. So as Andrew drops through, these guys are going up. You know, it looks like up. Oh, and Banana Man goes off, and Zane takes it right in front, going back there. So he's back in 4th place. JG is really the one who has made out the best in this. He started in the back of the DPs. And with Zane going off, and then Banana Man going off, and Andrew going off and having some issues. JG is actually looking at a podium right now if he can hold on to this for the rest of the race. But we do have a pit stop involved.
Involved?
Yep, we sure do.
Okay. And there's your awesome picture not drinking beer and having a headset leading a race.
Yeah, that was one of my pictures. Crew chief for Vision. Oh, Matt Jackson goes around. Where did he go around at? Oh no, and Skylar.
Oh,
Skylar just barely holds on to it. With who is number 20? With Dean. Skylar and Dean get involved with the two Evos, the Lambo Evos. So Tom Jensen actually looks like he took advantage of that one. So Jesse, Leland, and JG now, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Leland about a 1.5 seconds back, keeping him honest. All right, there's Justin Hall.
That is 3 hits.
3 hits?
Together, all at once. Just 1, 2, 3.
Yep, and there's Bradley, who's in the GT3 class, in the car that we haven't seen a lot this year, the Mercedes AMG GT3. And he has a new paint job. You know what? That kind of looks like the Mandalorian.
Really? Where? Which one?
Doesn't it?
Where? Which one?
That one.
That one?
Yeah, Bradley's car. Yep, still running that number 1 plate.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You can really impress us, Bradley.
Yep. He said he was going to have something exciting on a paint that he was going to do for the first time instead of waiting for somebody else. Wow, look at this freight train coming in here. Going in through, looks like turn 5 and up the hill before this corner. This is one of the trickier corners that we have. Right there, it just bottoms and drops. So that's part of the corkscrew. We'll get a better shot of that earlier. But Skylar Gregg going on the inside of a lap car.
I want to say 2 things. Maybe I will give out points not as 100. That is too early. Or 1,000. But I have 3 winners, and I can't choose which one. And it's not one of those.
Okay, well we'll go through that a little bit into the race. So Jesse Olsen, a 1:13.9. That's about the second fastest lap of the race. So that is quick. And Leland keeping him in 1:14 flat. So not much time between those guys, but Leland's still about 1.5 seconds out. So Zane Plumley moved ahead of JG. Let's go check on that one. So JG and Zane always seem to come together at one point or another. And these guys always race. I just always think of Monza, where these two probably fought more than half of the race through there. So I guess we missed the pass. But let's check on Daniel. Looks like he's coming up on Eric. So Daniel finding some speed this week in that BMW M4 GT3. Justin Hall put in a 1:22.5, his fastest of the race. So we have some Delaras towards the back there with Andrew working his way up. There he goes, speaking of devil. So he did work his way up, and he's trying to get back on the with the group of other Delaras out front. All right, Dean, and something happened to John Tremblay. Oh man, he got together with Leland. Oh no. That's awful.
Does that say Reese's?
Reese's Pieces, yeah, or Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. It does.
I like the pink wheels, but not really the Reese's.
All right, so Leland lost 8 seconds on that. Not sure what happened. John Tremblay actually ended up in pit lanes. He had a lot more damage, but there is Leland going by. And so running orders, Jesse, Leland, even after that, still in second, and Zane looking at the podium right now. But JG is hot on the trail, 2.5 seconds back. So let's go back to Daniel again. He was trying to put some moves on Eric, see if he can get second place. So he's definitely running strong in that car this week. And sorry for everyone out there. I mean, we're very happy to run the Shut Up and Drive It livery, co-sponsored with St. Plumbing Motorsports, while we're still waiting for Mark Sykes, who is a very busy designer, to finish up the livery for the M4 in the Z livery. All right, so Daniel's still keeping it nice and tight, 3 seconds back, right through the Andretti hairpin. Very slow, but to be patient. Treat it like a double apex, but you really cannot get on the gas until you see that second apex out in the back. So Tom Jensen looks like he is closing in. There he is with the green BMW. Got a little road rash on the side, but battle scars are okay. Also puts in his fastest lap, a 1:26.2. Congratulations, Tom. Yep, definitely picking up speed. Talked to him for just a little bit on our Discord channel that we use during the race for communication. And this is, I think, his 3rd week that he's actually been on iRacing from the Florida region. So we're happy to have him, and he's doing really good, picking up some pace and finding some speed.
About 2,000 points.
2,000 points. Okay, well, that's better than 100,000. All right, so here we are. This is one thing about mixed class racing that is, keeps everything interesting, is when the faster cars have to get around the GT3 class. And of course, on a track like this, as famous as it does not lend to a lot of areas for a safe pass, except for this one here, which is the front straight, which is not really straight. And so there's a lot of patience going on. Oh, Justin Hall, not the Suddy driver, went a little wide. I think he probably outbraked himself and was not prepared for Daniel to brake maybe where he did, or as much as he did. So still a freight train coming through, and Bradley's moving up into 5th place, and he started last in that class. It's the best racing we got going on right now. So if you look at the leaderboard off to the side, when you see the numbers, when they start turning orange and yellow, that's usually within a second or half a second. And that's usually what I'm looking at to find some of the better races that we have here. But this little freight train is just moving on. So there's that one corner I'm talking about that jumps out. And man, Justin Hall got a launch after that corner and he is headed right for the corkscrew. There he is. You see the headlights coming on. So this race started late in the afternoon. Does not go into the dark, but it's almost there. So Dean had off. He is now into the pit and lost 3 places. So that moves up Tom Nicholas and Matt Jackson. All right, Bradley Alvis still on the mood. Oh, sorry, move. He is in a mood sometimes. Yes, his mood is he wants to get to the front of the pack and win this thing. See if we can snip a little bit of the draft from Leland. Leland's trying to go through and pick up some spaces where he lost some time. Unfortunately, with the 1:15.4, Jesse's running a little bit quicker than that. Don't know if he has damage on the car from that incident that he had with John, but he's 13 seconds back. And JG looks like he might be catching him. Oh, here goes Zane and JG again. Here we go. Let's get it.
We are with Zane Plumley, 88 ZP something.
Yep, so these guys are working through traffic and trying to fight each other at the same time.
Dean is out.
Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, he did say he didn't get a lot of practice and he felt bad. He didn't want to ruin anybody's race and definitely can respect that. I did hear from his dad after the race that his dad wasn't in the room and he, consciously just went ahead and parked it and, opted to leave the race because he didn't want to ruin anybody else's race, not having practiced. And I tell you what, for a 13-year-old, he has such a maturity about him, and just kudos to his dad, Richard, who has, brought him up well. So we are keeping an eye on him, and he's gotten into some good series in real life, also in iRacing as well. So we're very appreciative when he shows up and races with us, because I know that there are times he embarrasses me, but I love it. It's always good to have a good challenge, and it's nice to see the younger generation picking up the sport and loving it and being respectful of it, and it's everyone else too. So you guys, Dib Dolls, congratulations, thank you. All right, what you got, Lexi?
It's okay, Dean, because I am 8 years old and I do not practice. So, yeah, maybe I will see the others shut up and drive it team on the other side of the finish line.
Yeah, she keeps bugging me. When am I going to drive with all those guys? And of course, Matt Jackson and I came back this week from traveling down from Nashville to the 24 Hours of Daytona. Amazing race, amazing year. Record setting in the fact that there was more cars on the lead lap within, I think, 15 seconds than I think any other year, which was nice. So it was really exciting going through. So here we are up the hill, down the corkscrew. Zane is getting caught by some traffic, still trying to play catch up. And man, JG is on fire this week. He looks so smooth, and he has got some secret juju going on, because his launches off the corner are just amazing. And actually, it's not special. I mean, the guy's a great driver, so it's nothing that is special that he set up with the car. He's just a special driver. He's got so much wheel time. I couldn't imagine how much wheel time he has. So a lot of guys set. So JG just set his quickest time in there. Zane's still getting chased, but oh boy, here comes the train of everybody. Let's see how we get through this. And of course, JG takes the inside, and Bradley, being a seasoned driver, knows where to give room, and when he can't give room, he doesn't want to put himself into a bad situation. So Zane following suit, car for car, trying to keep up. This next section here is probably not a good place to do any passes. So Zane passes on the short straight, tucks it in. Oh, Justin Hall goes off to the outside. Wonder if he was trying to give room to somebody. So he lost a couple places, unfortunately. So he was looking to put him. So Eric comes to the bus stop, and JG almost parks it. And now Zane is all over the back of him as they get through this one last car and get some open track. And Zane takes to the inside and goes off track just a little bit and loses it. He had the corner and lost it because he went a little too wide off the track. So JG on the inside-outside move, trying to get something going here on the last turn before the start-finish straight. John Tremblay puts in a 1:23.7, his fastest lap. And here we are on the front straight. Zane trying to sniff a little bit of the draft. It's interesting on that last view when you look at the LMP2 cars next to the BMW M4, just how small these cars are, even though they do look big, but they're definitely shorter, but much wider. So a lot of the mass may be the same, but they're actually a lot smaller than they seem. So still one of the better races on the track. We're going to stick with these guys and maybe change some views a little bit. So that's that corner that dips right before we go up to the top of the hill. Late pass on Matt Jackson into the dirt. Tell you what, Zane better take it easy. He's got a lot of incident points already I've seen just going off track. Leland Giddens thrown into 115 trying to make up some time, but I think his car might have some issues. That he's not running the fast lap times that he was earlier there to catch up to Jesse. All right. So Zane fell back a little bit, and let's check on Bradley, who is up to 3rd place. That's Tom. That's not Bradley. Where'd he go? There, it's Daniel. There he is. All right, so he is making his way through the field, car by car. And of course, you know, when you start in the back, you know, some of the cars that you start with don't maybe have the horsepower skill level. Of course, you know, horsepower on these GT3 cars are all regulated to be as equal as possible. So only the handling characteristics are a little bit different. But you know, the farther up you go trying to make passes, you know, the more skilled drivers, the harder it gets, and the wider the cars seem to be for some reason. You know how a car gets wider?
No.
You step on it. If you're Godzilla.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I needed to get a camera on her so you can see some of the faces she has during this race. So into the corkscrew, 1, 2, 3 for these guys. In placement wise, they're actually 2, 3, 4. And Justin Hall from Suddy is way out front. He's got a big lead over Eric and these guys fighting for 2nd place on the podium. Matt Jackson goes into pit lane, and Daniel goes into pit lane. So these guys must be looking around. So yeah, about 15 laps in, so we have 10 to go. So there those guys are. They went in voluntarily, didn't wreck. That's great. So they're getting their pit stop. Maybe they had too much traffic, want to get to a more open racetrack for them when they come out and get the rest of their fuel for the rest of the race. So what's really neat too is if you see some of these cars, it's getting a little darker. If you look on the front wheels, you know, through them, you see some of these brake rotors. Actually, there it is right there. That actually glow. That's kind of one of the cool things about iRacing, and as much as they want to make this as realistic as possible, when you go to Daytona and at night, especially like through turn 1, you're looking at the Ferris wheel and the fireworks going through the air and the cars on the track just screaming by with the brake rotors, you know, just on fire. And just to think that those do that so many times throughout one lap, and then also they did over 800 laps. So amazing thing for technology. Zane. Oh, okay, I was gonna say Zane passed JG, but JG went into pit lane, so he went to go for his fuel stop. So he might be trying to do an fuel strategy difference. And then Banana Man goes by, and also with his fastest lap, a 1:15.9.
I'm gonna give out more points and get ready for your minds to be blown. I've been saying in my head. What about 500,000?
Whoa, yeah, that is a lot.
Well, everybody's doing so good.
Yep.
And about 0 extra for the extra car paints that are so awesome.
Yeah.
Because everyone needs to get the same amount, but if they go off the track, affect the grass, even though it's dead.
It's just sand here.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, never mind. Back to the race. Everyone's doing so great.
Yep, they sure are. So it looks like the Ally car is a Jimmy Johnson themed livery from the 24. Okay. You have the hiccups? Oh, she has the pop.
I don't want to do it in the broadcast.
Oh, see, I told you to get that glass of water like I talked about.
Yeah, but I'm just fine. It's just a cough.
Okay. All right, let's check in. It's kind of on automatic right now. There goes Jesse into the pits. So that will give Leland going into the lead of the race, unless he follows suit, because he's just a few back.
9 laps to go. Yeah, because if you count, the last lap.
All right, also other GT3s, so first, second, and third. Second, third, and fourth. Sorry, Justin's just so far out there, I forget, these even in the race. But Eric Bjorn and Justin Hall all pit at the same time, so they're all trying to be on the same strategy and stay close to each other.
8 laps to go. 8 laps to go.
Yep. Here's a good shot and sound of that AMG GT real quick from the inside. All right, so the GT3 cars are coming at a pit exit like crazy. They're all coming out now. Skylar's going in. He looked like he waited 1 lap later. Oh, and they come out right in the middle of these two guys. Oh, that was so close. Almost sideswiped Eric and sent him out into the dirt. One thing about this track, it's if you go off in a bad way, because it is basically just desert sand everywhere, and there's not a lot of traction. Doesn't slow you down. Loves to spin the car. I mean, it's just like being on ice, really. And the other thing that really makes this track a lot more interesting as Zane goes to the pits is with the winds that are there. If you look around, you'll see that the track, there's a good shot right there. There's always sand on the track at Laguna Seca. So it's interesting, because it changes the course of the track, and the grip changes throughout the whole entire race, really depending on the weather. If you see a lot of the cars just then that were going down through the bus stop, I keep saying bus stop, for the the corkscrew, you see dirt actually coming off the back of the cars. So
7 laps to go. I'm keeping track, people.
Yeah, it is winding down quick. So I mean, with laps like 113, 114, 25 laps it's really a short race, for us. I know next week I believe we're at Spa, which is a lot longer track. Yeah, no, not a day spa, or you're not getting your hair done. It's a track called Spa in Belgium.
We jump over a bell. Easy.
She got all excited about going to the spa. I get that excited too if I went to Spa.
Yeah, I want to go to a spa, have my back massage.
All right, so look at this. JG and Zane back at it. Here we go, but this time it's a little bit reversed. So Zane stayed out a little bit longer than JG did, so had a shorter fuel pit, taking on less fuel the later in the race that you go. So the pit was shorter and came out just in front of JG. But JG has some warmer tires than Zane does, and we'll see if that comes into play. So Banana Man's coming out of the pit for a second pit, unfortunately, because he had an incident earlier. So these guys, again, always stuck together somehow with a rubber band, and it's exciting to see them throughout.
About 6 laps to go.
So JG has his Tampa Bay Buccaneers themed LMP2 car with the Grassroots Motorsports logos all over it, of course. I don't know if he designs that or not. Maybe I'll talk to him and find out if he has one of the graphic artists like in Grassroots Motorsports doing his liveries for him, or if he does it himself. I know he's always busy wrenching on stuff, but drops a wheel and saves it. Nice job, JG. All right, so Zane is using some traffic to kind of get away and make some space and distance between him and JG, but then Zane goes off. Wow, I know, does that all the time. Yeah, whenever in doubt, if you think to get exciting, just watch Zane Plumley, and he spins at least once every single time.
And he's still in 3rd place.
So Banana Man coming out of the pits, and so far with Andrew too with his last fuel stop.
5 laps to go. 5 laps. Yeah.
So here's someone we haven't talked about a lot was Bjorn. So Bjorn is looking like 5th place. So great drive for him. I hadn't seen him go off, so that's a good thing. Man, Daniel is just riding those curbs all over the place. Oh, and look, he's got a turtle this week.
Wait, is it okay? Question for who's that?
Justin Hall.
Justin, I have a question for you. Is that a turtle or a tortoise? If it's a tortoise, you are a big fan of me.
He's a big fan of you, or you're a big fan of him?
Yes,
Okay.
I wanted tortoise, but I can't prove it because I don't have a tortoise.
All right, so if you saw real close on that side shot of Zane Plumley's car, it's got 3 lights next to the number sign right there, 1, 2, and 3. So that tells you the placement of the front runners. So, obviously, Jesse would have 1, Leland would have 2, and Zane has 3, being in 3rd place. So it's just one of the things that IMSA does to help the fans, not just IMSA, but around the world, help the fans, see who's driving by. And I know JG would I want those 3 lights. So a great, very fast lap from Jesse Olsen. Look like 1:13.1. Banana Man through there with his yellow wheels. He's trying to make up some ground on these guys. And there's Jesse in the background.
4 laps to there.
Yeah, it is winding down. Zane Plumley on the podium so far. So what's interesting is that on this track, I think in season 1 was the highest place that Zane Plumley had ever gotten. I think it was a podium on there as well, or maybe 4th place. But here, again, so I don't know what it is about Laguna Seca with Zane, but he does seem to make it work somehow, even when he spins 2 or 3 times, or goes off track 2 or 3 times. All right, so those boys are still giving chase. There is Bradley, still moving up. He is now into 2nd place, 19 seconds back from Justin Hall. So there's Banana Man gracefully giving time to Jesse Olsen. Oh man, Tom, looks like you got a little bit more damage on that hood. Maybe you came down the corkscrew a little bit. I know that does. If you get on the gas too early, it'll spin you to one wall or the other. And there are walls on both sides coming down from the corkscrew. So looking at the leaderboard, I don't see any real close races. Oh, Tom, hold on to it, buddy. Oh, well, at least he safely got off track. So we thank you for that. Justin Hall, not the Saudi driver, looks like he's either in the pits or out. Leland has to go, and Leland puts in his fastest lap towards the end of the race, a 1:13.6, which is amazing. So, Matt Jackson is coming up on somebody. So he is racing with Nicholas Vincent. Oh, drops a wheel on the inside, holds on to it, and going downhill. Haven't talked too much about Matt today, but this is one of the races. So there we go with a clean pass of Matt for the leader, Jesse Olsen, going through there. Oh, a little bit long. That corner is very deceptively fast. He kind of dirt tracks it, like it's his 4-wheel drive truck. Gets back on the road, and he is back in action.
That's funny that he's dragging a trail of dust and 2 laps to go.
Yep, closing in on the white flag lap. All right, so let's look at our biggest mover. So it looks like JG is, or Bradley. I think actually Bradley is for the GT3 class coming in from the back. And JG, even though he started with no time, it says 15, but I know he started from like 7th to 4th. So still closing in. Oh, he's closing in on Zane. What's going on there?
Closing in on Zane.
Yep. There they go. What are you looking at me for? Because they're closing in on me?
Oh.
JG on the 3rd. Zane into pit lane this late in the game. Only thing I can think of, which I can tell you why, just trying to make a fun broadcast. He hit his limit on incident points and had to take a drive-through. Oh, so he just...
White flag.
Yep.
1 lap to go.
Jesse 1:13 flat, still throwing out the times. Yep, a drive-through penalty for Zane Plumley. He had a podium. Now JG is now rocking on the podium. It's going to have a nice champagne party with Leland and Jesse. So that is awesome. Yep, Zane Plumley's at the 5th place. So Banana Man passes him as well. So 5 seconds back, but with 1 lap, I don't know if he can catch up.
Before this lap is over, if it is, we're still talking, so don't interrupt me. Or interrupt myself. But I have planned to have a hot dog party in the race. So may someone get the fire? You know, the fire.
Yes. Well, we don't have the McLaren here shooting out fire in the back in this one. Oh, so Matt Jackson just moved up a couple places past John. It just flashed green there for a quick second. So it looks like he has moved up. And here we are on the front stretch for the last time. Checkered flag. There he goes for Jesse Olson, flashing the lights. Another win. Definitely on a hot streak. So congratulations. Yep. All right, and Justin Hall still out on track as everyone's starting to come through
with their donut party.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, how do you make those marks? I want to know how to make those marks.
Oh, that's just impressions in the gravel. Yep.
Oh, so I just press on the brakes and the thing at the same time.
Oh, somebody got launched. It's a disco ball, and off they go.
Upside down. It's also a fight party, but like a disco party. Here come the other two.
Yeah, this is an easy place to get a bunch of speed and come off to the end there. Let's see, Justin Hall.
Oh,
there he is, getting ready to cross the line. Oh, Matt Jackson had to go into pit. It's probably for X's as well. So Justin Hall with the win from the GT3 class. He is on a streak. He's got that thing dialed in and going. Bradley is in second. Coming in through the straight now. JG crosses line on the podium, 117.171.
Blinky is here.
Yep. And that puts everybody through.
Yeah, but let's check out the donut party. I just like to see disco balls and every other thing part of that donuts.
Yep. So we are at the end, again, of podiums for the LMP2 class. Jesse with another win, Leland and JG for the first time on the podium. So congratulations to him. It's nice to mix it up a little bit. And with the GT3 class, it is Justin Hall again, followed by Bradley moving up from the back, and Daniel, a new podium guy. So 2 new third place podium guys in each class this week. So congratulations, guys. All right, that wraps it up. What do you got to say there, Lex?
Everyone did so great, and the winner is, I almost forgot that. The winner is that rainbow car.
Oh, Justin Hall.
Yes, Justin Hall. And goodbye, surfers. Turtle.
There's your car.
All right. Not that one.
Okay, well, thank you very much for tuning in. And next week we'll be at Spa. That'll be a very interesting race as well. And I think the LMP2s will definitely have a lot easier time getting around because of the high-speed track. So, all right, thank you again as our parting shot of Justin Hall going to the pits, and we'll see you next time.